Welcome everybody to the Single and Stilettos Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show Cyndi Olin, and she's a relationship strategist and coach at Create Your Own Luck and Love. And I'm so excited to have her here today because today we're talking about the 3 ways to be irresistible to a man. And I have to tell you, ladies, Cyndi is one of my favorite guests to interview because she's so much fun and she gives great advice. So, before we jump into it, Cyndi, I would love for you to tell our audience a little bit about you and how you became a relationship strategist and coach.
Yes, that's a mouthful, huh? Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Suzanne, for having me. And just, I love what you're doing. And yes, I love interviewing with you too. It's so much fun. And so I will dive right in as to why I decided to do what I'm doing today. I try to keep it long story short, but if you even see in my bio, I would say that I used to wear man repellent. So literally I would dress in the cutest clothes, try to make my hair, I mean, just be perfect, right? Mm-hmm. And inevitably I would scare men away. They would literally be running from the hills and I had no idea what I was doing wrong. And so I'm a very curious person, and I figured out the only common denominator in my relationships was me, yours truly. So I had this real needy energy. I really wanted a relationship. I wanted to get married and all these things. And it just wasn't, my approach was really scaring men off. And then, so I did a lot of work with some top relationship mentors over the years. And I even taught Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus workshops. I co-facilitated those years ago. And like Suzanne, I actually was a high-end matchmaker in my previous life, which what happened is that I noticed that a lot of I could match up really amazing people together, and ultimately they would do the same thing I did, sabotage the relationship. So I found myself coaching people into learning how to become the best version of themselves to really become great in relationships and stop sabotaging it. So long story short, that is I found that to be much more fulfilling. So therefore I started my company, Create Your Own Luck and Love, where I feel like luck is not really needed when it comes to your love life. So, I hope everybody heard that.
They did, and I love your story. So let's jump into it. So let's talk about the ways to be irresistible to a man. So tell us your first tip on how a woman can be irresistible to a man.
I absolutely love this. So one of the things is, ladies, Cupid's arrow could actually be anywhere. So, and it's just waiting, just waiting to hit you. So one of the ways to be irresistible to men in general, or a man, is to really smile, have just a happy, light energy about you. And, even if you've had a bad day, something like that, just be happy. Frankly, nobody wants to be around a Debbie Downer or someone that, you know what I mean?
It's true.
I remember years ago, I had this close girlfriend. We're still close girlfriends. And she was, she was actually always pretty decent in relationships. She has a high emotional intelligence. That's part of it. And I would just get all broken up and brokenhearted if things weren't going my way. I call her crying, and she would literally be like, no one wants to be around a weeping willow. So suck it up, sister. And I mean that with absolute love. It's just, and the minute you adjust your mindset, you start to up level your thinking. So Men love happy women. Here's why. Because they feel like there's a chance that they can actually make them happier.
Yeah, that's true. This sounds so simple, ladies, but I will tell you everything that Cyndi just said is so true, and I can't tell you how many women don't get that aspect of you need to be happy because no one wants to be around Debbie Downer.
Debbie Downer, Weeping Willow.
I know. Yeah. It just brings on negative energy, and a man's sole purpose in not soul, but a main part of why he wants to be in a relationship is to make a woman happy. If he can make a woman happy, that's so important to him. So what's your second tip?
And let me go back on that too. Like, a healthy man wants to make a woman happy.
Yeah, not a depressed man.
Not a depressed man. But no, I mean, well, let's just say most men, that's what they want. But my second tip would be as an irresistibility factor for men, they love a woman that is confident. And I mean that in a way of like, and let me just kind of mesh a couple things in there. Independent and confident. Now, not independent in the sense that you don't need a man, but independent in the sense that you're not a damsel in distress all the time. You don't have to, you don't have to have them. They can see that you're independent, that you can take care of yourself, that you have your head on straight, and that independent confidence factor also in their mind, they're like, okay, she's got it together. She's not crazy. And Susanna always laughs at me, but it's true. Men really fear that. They think, oh, is she gonna, go down crazy town with me? And all just having that confidence, that sense of self, knowing who you are, knowing what it is that you desire in a relationship and what you can give will automatically create a sense of confidence within yourself.
That is very true. And confidence is so sexy, ladies, and men tell me all the time that's what they look for in a woman. And I want to just emphasize something that Cyndi said that is very true. It's not about being so independent that you have that attitude of I don't need a man, because that will detract the right man. It's just being able to handle your own life, have your own life, be passionate about it, but then be able to come together with the man and be able to share your lives together. That's really important. So, Cyndi, what's your third tip?
My third tip is being in the present moment. And let me explain that a little bit deeper and why I almost think that this is number one, because remember how I was telling you that I wore man repellent before? Part of that was because I had a problem being in the present moment. I would go out on my first and second date with men and I would be like, dreamily thinking, oh, I can't wait till we walk down the aisle together. We have our beautiful family. They will have great blue eyes. No. Really staying present and being happy. So going back to that happiness factor, but really being in the present moment, like enjoying the conversation that you're having, really having a sense of gratitude for where you're at in that moment with that person. And men can really sense that, believe it or not. I mean, women, we're really intuitive. But men sense a woman that can just be present. And men are much better at that, typically, when they're on a date with you than women are.
Yeah, that's so true.
So, understanding that, really just don't go, into the future of, oh my gosh, or don't go into the past. Like, oh, he's not like Joe who used to who used to, touch my arm every time we laughed about something together. Just try to keep those comparisons out, keep kind of have your blinders on and just be really present. And I'll add something to that, ladies. If you're looking just to be irresistible in general, I would recommend when you're out and about in public, you're at Whole Foods, you're at Starbucks, wherever you go, put away that cell phone.
Yep.
We live in a world that's, naturally fast paced, in the technological age. Everybody has their faces in their darn cell phones. I'll bring mine up. Faces in their cell phones. And a lot of people do. Mm-hmm. And they don't take enough time to really look at what's around them. And there are a lot of amazing people around you. So, you can create conversations wherever you go. I used to get asked out on dates at the Starbucks that was right below the office that I used to work at, because I did exactly that. I would just make conversation with the barista. I would just be like, oh yeah, if somebody was in front of me and they had their head in their phone, I'd be like, gosh, must be really serious, right? And I just had fun and stayed present. And here's what happened. I would have men that would come up to me and they'd be like, oh yeah, I always see you in here. Can we grab a cup of coffee or lunch? And at that time I was like, yeah, sure. I just said yes, because I was really in that open energy of bringing that in. Yeah. And you can be irresistible no matter what. It doesn't have to stop when you're in relationship. In fact, that should be a time when you become even more irresistible, meaning that, like my little boy and I will go out on walks with a, big jogging stroller, right? We'll walk into a store or something where, you got to open a door. And I literally will have men, 10 feet behind me. Wait, let me open that door for you. I'm not doing anything, but I am smiling.
Mm-hmm.
And I am, just in this space of receptivity. So keep yourself open to being receptive. Also, another thing, just keep it at that, because if I give you too much, it's just too much. It's like, buying everything on sale at the, you're like, oh my gosh, it's 75% off, and I'm at.
Well, these have been some great tips, Cyndi. So tell our audience, you have a free gift for them.
I do. Anyone that's seeking their soulmate, I believe you can actually draw that in 30 days or less. And I have a guidebook that will support you in doing so. Also, if you are in a relationship and you want to create time and really create the space for having just a rock solid, amazing partnership, I also have an ebook about that as well. So those two there, as well as I do a series, and Suzanne is featured on it every year. And it's really about attracting and marrying your man, or being in that loving, long-term, epic affair, committed relationship with an amazing partner for you. And this year I created a guidebook, step by step for you guys. So you have the option to really check out both. And if you need some further support on your specific situation, you can set up a free love call with me, which is 30 minutes. And really what I do is talk to you about your specific situation and give you things that you can walk away with right away and implement into your love life. So very, very valuable insight. Anyways, that's it.
Awesome. Well, everybody, you can click on the links below to get her free gifts. And if you're listening to the podcast, just go to singleonstilettos.com and you'll see the links on the page with her interview. So thanks, everybody, for joining us on the Single on Stilettos show. Our show is available both in video format and podcast format. If you'd like to view the videos, you can go to singleonstilettos.com. And if you'd like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes. If you'd like to get our free ebook on the 3 secrets guaranteed to attract any man based on scientific research, you can click right here on the video, or you can go to singleonstilettos.com.